The Kelmarsh tunnel is situated in Northamptonshire and opened up as a railway connection between Market Harborough and Northampton. Originally, the tunnel began as a single track line in 1859, but later on a second line was added. The tunnel is almost 500 metres long and due to their narrow structure were referred to as the rat holes by train drivers. The railway workers were a group of men who would enter the tunnel as trains were approaching to check that the tunnel was free for members of the public and that it was safe for the trains to pass through. To aid them in this task, the tunnel had small frames cut into the brickwork at 30-metre intervals so the worker in the tunnel could slip into this void and allow the train to pass by, but as the frames were only a few feet deep, the trains would literally pass the hiding worker only 18 inches away from their bodies. Needless to say, unfortunate accidents were commonplace and numerous workers were killed performing this job. Despite no longer being used by trains, the tunnel still stands strong and is open to the public and used by walking groups and cyclists alike. Over the years, Tunnel 1 has amassed some interesting reports of ghostly sightings and paranormal activity. Locals of Kelmarsh Tunnel tell tales of hearing the grumbling of trains passing through in the dead of night, and sightings of the railway workers walking out through the tunnel into the forest, then disappearing, have been reported on numerous occasions. What will the G.S.I team discover after they enter Kelmarsh Tunnel's foreboding darkness? But before the investigation started, Ralph had one surprise that the team was not expecting. He had found tunnel number 2 hidden from view for over 40 years and as far as we know as of yet still uninvestigated to date.
We've come to this tunnel now, none of the team know about this. This is a tunnel that's been closed up since the early 80s and it's not open to the public. So on the way here I turned around and said I've got a surprise, and here we are. Now I've had a quick walk through and it is very eerie, so we are hoping for a lot of activity in here. Not a lot more we can say, it is very new. No one's investigated it as far as we are aware. We've investigated the other tunnel, but this second tunnel they haven't.
Tunnel number 2. I love Ralph to bits. He usually springs this sort of stuff on us from time to time. We've investigated Kelmarsh Tunnel twice or 3 times in the past. Didn't even know 15 metres away there was a hidden tunnel. Like Ralph says, from the 1980s, locked off to the public, we've managed to gain access. I love him to bits. Let's have a look what we can get inside.
As always, the team started their investigation with a small series of baseline tests, the results of which are up on your screen now.
Okay then, we're in the tunnel. Is there any spirits here with us that wish to come and communicate? Can you come forward and affect our devices?
What was that?
Explain what you heard.
Coming from behind Chelsea.
If that's someone here, can you come forward? There's a device in the middle of the floor. If you come near it, it'll set it off.
If any of the railway workers are here, can you come forward, please?
Did you work in the war? Was you part of the fuel distribution?
About 15 dancers then.
It was a lot. Did you work in the army? Was you in the army?
I think that was a nope.
Leave me alone.
Why do you want to be left alone?
Okay. You hear that moan?
Seriously keep looking down there.
I just did a moan from down. Did one of you just moan from the top end of the tunnel? Was one of you trying to communicate with us? Will one of you show yourselves to us tonight? Please? Yes. Let's hope so. Shall we move further up the tunnel?
The spirits of the railway workers seemed intent in making their voices heard, so the team moved up into the central part of the tunnel, but stopped abruptly when they heard something quite remarkable approaching.
It sounds like a shunting train.
Oh, it's coming down the tracks.
Yeah, I know we're in a train tunnel, but it sounds like where I used to live with Mum and Dad. They used to have the old goods yards behind it, and it was constantly shunting trains, and that's what it sounds like.